Delivering Sandspear Solutions, SCA. Everything you need to know about Sandspears, all questions and answers here. How to fit a pump in a Sandspear installation. Our method makes it easier to install and remove your pump. The issues are, what is the best method of installation? Most Sandspear bores are only 50mm ID, and you cannot fit a submersible pump down a bore that size. There are two methods to use. Number one is connect the top of the casing directly to the suction of the inlet pump. Now looking at method one, the pump suction is connected to the rising main, then the rising main or casing is connected to the screen. Now there is a third method, and if no power is available, you can use a hand pump or a 12-volt submersible pump. There'll be more details about this below. In method 2, which is highly recommended, the top of the casing is open, the suction line from the pump is separate and fits inside the rising main, with the non-return at the bottom. You will see here that the non-return valve is connected to the top of the screen, which is inserted into the water table. In this method 1, you must ensure that all your joints must be airtight, and to ensure that each glue joint is done properly, otherwise you'll have air leak. Any small air leaks will not allow the pump to keep prime and will stop pumping, and then to get it going again, you must prime the pump. The rising main or casing should be of a similar size as the pump inlet, and the standard is 1.25 inches. The negative aspects with method 1, the pump must prime itself every time, and this is not reliable unless a non-return valve is fitted onto the screen or onto the casing. Another negative aspect is that the rising main is a lot larger than the pump inlet, causing inefficiencies in the pump. The next negativity aspects is that if the foot valve is fitted, or a non-return valve, and how can you clean it if it leaks? This will cause the pump not to be primed, plus as it's below and into the sand, you're going to have to completely bring up all of the Sandspear. When sand builds up in the foot valve or non-return valve seat and is leaking, it is difficult to fix, as you have to pull out the Sandspear system, fix and install. This is a very long process. Solution 2 for installing your Sandspear. This method is highly recommended. This is where the top of the casing is open, the suction line from the pump is separate and fits inside the rising main with a non-return valve at the bottom below your water level. Solution 2, the foot valve being under the water table always allows the pump to be primed. This means when you turn on the pump, water is available to you, use immediately. The first positive aspect of solution 2 is that the installation time, it's much quicker and the system is more efficient in the pumping. The second positive aspect is that there are less joints. The possibility of having a bad joint or an air leak is minimised, thus keeping the pump fully primed. If sand builds up in the foot valve or the non-return valve seat and is leaking, it is easy to fix. But what you've got to do is just pull up the suction line, clean it, the check valve, test it and reinstall it in no time at all, and you're back into operation. What components are needed? First, suction pump. Just a standard household pump, 240 volt, with or without a pressure switch. Without the pressure switch, you're going to have to turn it on, and a 3/4 or a 1-inch suction inlet. Also you'll need a poly male connector that fits the poly pipe, your rising main. It has a BSP male thread which obviously fits your pump outlet, and the female end to fit the poly pipe being used. You can use standard poly pipe, 20 to 32mm roughly in diameter, can be used, and then the size depends on the suction size. You could also use steel or polypipe straight, join it together, but you've got to ensure that all the joints are airtight and got no leaks in them. That's why using the polypipe is better. You've only got the joints on the fittings. You'll need a non-return valve or foot valve. This will be 3/4 or 1 inch brass non-return valve. Often the poly ones are too big in diameter, fit down. Ensure that the poly fitting fits inside the casing and the thread is the same size as each other. And make sure the valve is facing in the correct direction. Other pumping methods. If you have no electric pump is available, you can always use a hand pump, example on the beach when you're camping, or you just want to test your bore. You can make this little hand pump, or you can buy that hand pump using a non-return valve through us. Another pumping method is if you do not have 240 volts, it's not available, you can use a 12 volt submersible pump. Again, this can be used on your camping or even on your own property if you're only needing a little bit of water. Just connect it to a battery or a 12 volt source and away it goes. Now you've got everything in, these are the things we need to ensure that your system will work properly. The pump has got to always be primed, so as soon as you switch on the pump, it'll pump water. There are no leaks or holes in the suction line or pumping system. Make sure that you use thread tape or sealer on all the thread joints to ensure all joints are airtight. That will allow the pump to work properly and get the best amount of water out of your spear. The advantages of Solution 2 is that the pump is always primed, it's easy installation and removal, and the non-return valve easily can be removed and cleaned if there's any issues that's stopping the pump from being primed. Other advantages are that the suction line pipe diameter is more aligned with the pump suction inlet size, making this more efficient for your pumping. Easy access to the screen if it needs cleaning, developing or removal because you've got nothing in the way. In conclusion, there are always more than one solution. Solution 2 here has been proved by my clients to be the most successful and easier to install and has less issues with their pumping. Any standard household pump can be used, even a hand pump can be used. For the size of the pump or the quantity of water needed, a pump test may be necessary for your bore. I hope this has been valuable and useful in helping you set up your Sandspear system. If you have any more questions or need any more information, please go to our website. Thank you for taking the time. We are always here to help. So just you can email us at info@sandspears.com.au or you can call us on 0438 746 894. Thank you.